That's right. New music, new look, but the same great content. Welcome back to Blurred's Eye View for our 28 Days of Black Cosplay Edition. And if you wonder why we're highlighting Black cosplayers, well, it's because we can. They deserve it, and it's my damn show.
Period.
Blurred's Eye View is a podcast that discusses geek pop culture and everything in between. And with me are my co-hosts, DC Chambers and Candy B. How's it going, guys?
AKA Scott Summers is a bitch on YouTube.com.
That's also my OnlyFans name. Scott Summers is bitch. Find me.
Also, I just started an anti-MySpace page because Scott Summers is not awesome.
That's in lieu of the last week's episode.
Yeah, that's in lieu of.
Yeah.
Scott Summers is the best at AOL.com. Check
Who
it out.
even use AOL besides Scott Summers?
Fucking Scott.
Scott Summers was the dude who went to prom and took his date and didn't have sex out of respect.
Somewhere Logan is sitting back with a beer and a cigar and cracking up at this show.
He already subscribed. He loves it.
So how's everybody doing for this week?
Good.
Doing well. I really enjoyed that intro. Like we have to give more shout outs to your boy who created that.
Yeah, so shout out to G Black. He was our guest on What the Shit. G Black from Akron, Ohio. Shout out to him for giving us that bomb ass song intro. Super
so
Black.
Good.
You know, he
My
actually.
God, Earl, what's up, man?
Yeah, he dropped Promised Land. So you need to check that out.
Small fan of the show.
A huge small fan.
No, is he short? I was about to
What's
say, I'm
up,
sorry
Earl,
for your loss.
I just fuck with him all the time.
But shout out,
anyway,
but shout out to
G Black though. For real.
G Black. Shout out to G Black for that great intro. That is our permanent song intro.
I love it. Makes me want to fight crime.
So
makes me want to hit Scott Summers.
It makes me want to sleep with him and not call him back because he would cry.
I know our guest in the back is like, man, these niggas don't stop talking about Scott Summers.
Well, speaking of our guests,
let's stop.
So, but speaking of our guests, before we get into tonight's topic, I want to introduce our guest for tonight. As we celebrate our 28 days
of
Black Cosplay, the owner of Foambenders Forge LLC and CEO and owner of Black Cosplay Boosters on Instagram, Chris Dixon, aka Tetris, Mr. Tetris Cosplay.
Yeah.
How's it going? Just soak it in. How's it going, Mr. Tetris? How's it going?
It's going good. I'll tell you right now. Much more than Scott Summers slander.
Wait a minute, is he the guy? We said we needed to do an episode where we have a Scott Summers fan. We just spoke this into existence.
He needs some milk.
And we have the fan.
It's great having you on. So tell us, I know you are the CEO of Foambenders Forge LLC. So show some of his work up there.
Oh yeah, let's show some. Shall we?
Yeah, there's some of his work. And it's some bomb ass work. I'm digging that Damian Wayne. I'm digging
that. You see him?
No, that's Damian Maine. That's Damian Maine.
That's dope. That's dope. I like that.
That's for my boy.
That is dope.
I gotta finish painting that. And that garnet, I'm almost done with that. Actually, I gotta start putting pictures of that.
It looks wonderful.
To give a like not even small, it's a large correction. I'm co-owner of Black Cosplay. I'm co-owner.
You co-owner?
Yeah, I'm co-owner. I started with Ms. Vampy Snow. Shout out to her. Honestly, we put in so much work on this. There's no part in any form of fashion, I could just be like, yeah, I'm co-owner and let that slide. She'll cut me. I can't have that.
I want that.
With a name like Vampy Snow, and I know about Vampy Snow. I've seen her work. She's amazing.
She's amazing. She's absolutely.
So tell us about Foambenders Forge LLC. What's that?
Foambenders Forge is a survival method for COVID. That's what I was using to get through COVID.
I believe him, yo. I don't know why, but I do.
Yeah, everybody got displaced. Everybody got displaced at work. People out of work and everything like that. I was studying how to craft for like I want to say the better of like 8 months, and really through like YouTube tutorials and such like that. I wanted to do a Teen Titans group for BlurredCon, which ended up not happening. And because it didn't happen, I was like, let me just see if I could start making a bunch of commissions for people, use the money to like start my own business. It got to the point that I was able to make it an LLC, which led directly into starting BCB, because BCB, Black Cosplay Boosters, is a nonprofit now. Like, we were able to register it this month. No, last month we was able to register it. And I want to be able to use Foambenders Forge as a way to make crafts and props and little things that can donate to BCB, which can be distributed out to the cosplay community. I want it to be a way so I could teach people how to, make their own cosplays, use foam and warbler and all these other different materials to make their own crafts and such. I didn't see a lot of Black crafters when I was learning how to on YouTube. I mean, I saw like one Black guy, and he had like 2 videos up from like 2 years prior, and it's not enough for me. And when I was starting, I really thought like I was the only Black person crafting in the cosplay community, which is ridiculous. I didn't see it. And that was a part of the movement for Black Cosplay Boosters, because I want to be able to see more of us doing the same thing. And there's people that's miles ahead of me. I'm right there on that coming up to intermediate level right now, in my own opinion. And there's people that
you could have fooled me, because I'm looking at.
If you look at my work and you appreciate my work, and I appreciate you you enjoying my work, it's a far cry from what some of these people are doing. I'm amazed by some of these people every day. I see somebody new almost every day, and some of their work, it makes no sense that they don't have either the following that you'd expect from your talent, or they don't have a sponsorship, somebody trying to throw hurdles of money at them to make more stuff and make them look good. It doesn't make sense. But that's one of the issues with the cosplay community as a whole. You Black cosplayers of color, they get pushed down on the promotion bar, and they get less opportunities. They really got to fight twice as hard. They have to be twice as talented to get half of the opportunities. So when you see people that's actually really in the limelight a lot, it shows in part half of how they market themselves, but half of what potential talent they have, because they're not going to put somebody that's up there doing bullshit. The greater cosplay community, they're not going to put somebody up there doing bullshit. It may slide for them, the non-melanated, it may slide for them, but it's not going to slide for us on that part. And it's unfortunate, because I believe if you put on a costume, you're a cosplayer from that point on.
Once you're in the pool, you're in the pool.
Yeah, come out after that. Yeah, we'll shine a light on you no matter what level you are. And if
speaking of which, people didn't see this picture. Somebody said that that's intermediate, then they don't know what you're doing, because this is actually dope. That ain't intermediate, bro. I'm gonna tell you right now. Ain't nothing intermediate about that. That look like it takes a lot of long hours to get that done. So don't put yourself like you.
So many hours, I'm not done
That's
yet.
dope. That's dope.
I had to take a long mental health check, just dealing with everything COVID, family wise, my own personal whatever. I had to take a long mental health check, and then BTB came up. So it was I could actually use this to help more than just myself, because if I leave it at just me crafting all these things, and it's just me getting the shine and recognition, which is originally was fine, but I'm not trying to be selfish with it. So I want BCB to be able to help me with some of these commissions some of the utilities that I have, some of the crafters, the painters, 3D printers, and all this other stuff, designers, everybody. You know, I want to be able to help get them some type of recognition because, unfortunately, if they aren't doing, well, not doing, but if they aren't like being marketed or promoted or even seen the way they deserve, I feel obligated to help them with that. And I have enough work to spread around to be able to help them do that and make everybody happy. Everybody wins at the end of it.
And that's the cool thing about seeing that group, because you being a part of it, I had just got out of a couple of groups on purpose because I just felt like the environment was becoming toxic. And this was
Absolutely.
being in those type of groups where it's purposely for Black cosplayers, but there was just too much. I felt like admin was letting slide, and I'm like, I'm getting out of this. And then I saw you start this, and I said, I'll give it a try. And it's been nothing but a great experience in the comments. And even when there's been like a little thing here and there, it's resolved quickly.
It's checked
and
real
it
quick.
doesn't go on for long because he be in the comments. He does not play. He's not for play at all. And it just creates it creates the environment that I wish was on bigger groups that have like, 15,000, 25,000 people. And it's just a fucking mess in the comments, or there's so many cosplayers that don't feel good about posting their costume because they're not at Cutie Pie Sensei level, or whoever they view in their head as a level, or they're not as small as she is, or whatever it may be holding them back. So I love that you show any and everybody, regardless of size, regardless of level, they feel like they're at it crafting. I think that's really dope.
Yeah, it was a very deliberate issue that we needed to address like up front. That we want as many cosplayers, a wide pool. It doesn't matter, what shade, and this is, very particular, like what shade of Black you are, because that comes up a lot. It doesn't matter.
It does a lot.
It doesn't matter what size. It doesn't matter, your orientation. It doesn't matter if you're a sex worker. It doesn't matter, any of those things, because sex workers get shit on for making people happy, which is ridiculous. So. You put on a costume.
I've never seen anything like it. It's ridiculous to see it, and I'm glad that something like BC exists.
Yeah, it doesn't make sense.
for that platform.
Yeah, like that's all I want. I want cosplayers who consider themselves cosplayers to be seen as cosplayers and respected as cosplayers, and go on from there. There shouldn't be anything less.
Aaron Moore just responded. Yeah, Aaron Moore. Aaron Moore says, I've been called fat in every group except this one, and she loves it here. So
good.
It's good.
Aaron, that's Queen E cosplay.
Yeah.
Let me know if I'm right. Yeah, got you. That's Queen E cosplay.
Yeah, if you cosplay and you want to put your own like handle, I'll follow you. Go ahead and put it up there in the comments.
Put it in as a link so I can follow it. That's my role for BCB. You put it in as a link because I'm extremely busy and I refuse to hunt for your Instagram. If you want to be seen, I'll meet you halfway. All you got to do is type it. The other half of the work is me posting it up online and tagging a bunch of cosplay promoting pages and getting on their ass to actually share you. Because I've been bullying people for the last 2 weeks. Hands down, I've been bullying people for the last 2 weeks. You're gonna show these Black cosplayers. You're gonna show these Black cosplayers and stop showing all white.
You're gonna get this work.
Yeah, you're gonna get this work. That's why I love 28 days. I wish it needs to be more than just the 28 days. That's how I feel about it. Plain and simple. I see some fantastic Black cosplayers that are just really putting in the work. Raymond Ramos is one of them. He just blows my mind with some of the work he puts out there. Night Mage is another one. Like he's like top tier.
Is outstanding.
You're right.
Yes. Night Mage terrifies me because every time I'm so serious. Like every time I think about I'm gonna do this cosplay, I'm gonna do this real quick. Night Mage is done. He's a Simpsons.
He's did it. Simpsons did it.
2 days. 2 days.
Like I forgot who I was talking to. Yeah, I forgot who I was talking to. I was like, I'm gonna do Scar. No, I didn't forget, but I'm not gonna shout him out. But not for this anyway. Because if we still do it, great. Yeah, we still do the collaboration, great. If y'all remember, last year, Mastermind Connect, he did the Pride Lands, artwork for the Lion King and everything, making them all, Black figured and everything like that.
I remember thirsting after the cartoons.
Yeah, absolutely.
She was a real Scar fan after that.
Yeah, I'm gonna do Scar. Like that's what's gonna happen. That's not.
I too am going to do Scar.
Yeah, that's not what
In a different way.
Help me, brother.
Yeah.
Long live the king.
The king.
That's what Brady's gonna scream.
My crowd. But I wanted to do Scar, and he wanted to do Mufasa. And I mean, the very next day, Nightmare put cosplay for Mufasa again. Like he puts it up again the next day after me and him are talking about it privately. And he did this cosplay back in like last April or something like. It's like what the hell? Like he's
ahead of his time.
He is.
He's always there. He's absolutely incredible. Like Nightmare.
Yeah, he is.
Shout out to Nightmare. Shout out to Nightmare.
Even his Laura Croft, I was like, oh my God. Because I was like, well, that's a simple one I'll do for like Halloween or something. And then I see him do a whole photo shoot with it. I was like, my legs don't look like your legs. I'm not going to be out here like this.
Yeah. It's like,
you look amazing.
And I cosplay that I wanted to do that Night Mage hasn't done already. That isn't like drastically outside of like what he would probably fall into. Like I want to do like some Soul Calibur cosplays. You know, I want to do an Astaroth. I want to do a Siegfried with the crystal armor and everything like that. Those are like my master crafts. You know, I'm doing 10 years from now. I get a whole studio to work on. But I haven't seen him do stuff like that. And I'm like, thank God, I hope he never plays video.
He's going to watch this episode.
And then tomorrow you'll see all of them all at once.
He's gonna tag him in
You
it.
thought I couldn't do it, didn't you? Surprise, motherfucker.
I don't like, his work ethic is amazing. His work ethic is amazing.
Between him, Raymond Ramos, Tranquil Ashes, she's amazing. She is absolutely,
I like her a lot.
Amazing at what she's putting out there, and she just pumps it out. In her makeup game, I gotta say, I'm like, well okay.
No, she does a good job, and I'm always going to stand for those body types that don't fit the regular comic book mold, and you have to make your shit. I'm always going to hype them up more.
Right.
I'll say that. She is a good representative for plus size cosplayers on just trying to be body positive. You don't see a lot of like plus size cosplayers doing craft work and everything like that. And it's a shame. I'm glad that more people are interested in it because of her. It's personal. After that statement, it's just personal. Like I can respect her for cosplayer, but after that, everything is just so. Yeah.
Yeah.
Is this an exclusive? What did we just miss? What's going on?
I don't have a button for that.
The one time he doesn't have a button.
If she's a dope cosplayer, it's just everything else after that. I'm not entirely sure how to speak on it.
All right. Well.
I guess I do have a button for that.
Yeah, I knew you didn't find one.
I just had to search.
So before we get any further into the conversation, what is everybody watching?
We can start with the guest. Scott Summer.
Mr. Tetris, what are you watching? You got free time now, COVID wise.
Like it's not just y'all, but my coworker, I was talking about it this morning. I was like, yo, I'm not gonna watch WandaVision until it gets to like the season finale. First thing I do, I come into work this morning. My not supervisor, but my coworker, he's like, yo, they did this, that, and the third. The whole episode. Like he told me all of the fifth.
Oh no,
that's a slap in the mouth.
It's 10:30. Like,
like, dude, it's a 24-hour reprieve. You didn't even give it 24 hours.
Like,
you gotta let it breathe at least. We gave Brandy to the day.
Like the episode, like he dropped before I could even like really clock in, and I'm just saying, like, how the fuck?
Oh damn! Not before you ain't even get the foot on the floor yet.
Like you're not even protected by like just being an employee at this point. Like I could really hurt you today. Like, so I sat there working. I binged the whole thing. You know, I sat there. We don't do work at work, but I sat there and binged the whole thing. So.
Well, I did not. I told the boys I was going to, and I woke up at like 2 in the afternoon and was like, I don't have time because I stayed up all night trying to. I stayed up all night trying to finish Attack on Titan, so that's what I'm trying to. And it's funny you mention that.
It's a lot of people who's mentioning Attack on Titan.
See, I'm trying to finish, y'all.
There's Dark Materials.
I'm trying to finish, and it's rough because, like I said, season 3 is like, and I don't feel like it's one of those shows, in my opinion, where any episode I would consider a filler because I'm like, I need to know all of this shit because there's so much I'm trying to figure out.
My girl's in the comments like pissed off because I watched WandaVision. I'm sorry, shit.
She's like, what?
Help me!
Had to do it.
Me!
I am rewatching
And then after that, I'm gonna finish Dr. Stone because they have a season 2, and I really like Dr. Stone, so I'm gonna finish that. And then I think I'm going to wait for WandaVision because I've yet to have it spoiled for me. So I'm gonna do
whatever you're using, keep using it then.
Yeah, whatever.
No, I've seen people post memes out of context. So I see memes and I'm like, twins? I'm like, this doesn't make sense to me. And I'm like, oh, it's not supposed to. Okay, I get it.
Game of Thrones. If there's like a meme with no context and I just scroll clean past it. So I don't even try and like deliberate what it is in my head. I remember them doing real early on with like, Game of Thrones. They did it with Endgame because like people were saying like they had like a week or something like that before any spoilers. People was like trying to be dedicated to like a week before any spoilers for Endgame. But you see pictures of Squidward, with no context, and people was really trying to figure out what that is. I'm like, nah, I'm good.
I don't have time
I'm not playing these games with you.
I don't. I was real good.
Like, I don't have time to decipher all this bullshit.
So what do you feel like? What would you guys feel like ideally was and you guys can comment too, what is the perfect amount of time to give before you start talking about it on social media or to somebody else after something premieres?
It's a 24-hour rule like football. You got 24 hours to get over.
You got 1 day.
One day.
One day.
It's a
I'm at least giving
rule.
2. I'm giving 2 days.
Yeah, I feel like
48 hours.
I feel like
2 is fair.
Because when does the episode drop? It drops on like what, Thursday?
It drops on a Friday, but I think it drops at like 3 a.m. on Friday or something like that.
Okay, so what if you work? You really can't get nothing done until Sunday. Like, that's around 48 hours.
We got no time for excuses.
You're just dedicated to being an asshole. I understand, DC. Like,
I'm sorry. No. Well, I am, but it depends on what it is. It depends on what it is. Because
the comments are popping.
Definitely 2 days. I can give you 2 days.
They say 2 days, 24 on the weekend, release 48 weekday. Okay. I guess we can be fair and say 2 days.
Episodes trash or something like that. If he kept saying like the last 4 episodes was trash, okay, cool. I didn't see this episode. It's the brand new episode. You spoiled the last episode. You tell me shit that happened first.
Yeah, you can't start.
His mouth is like water. He just can't hold no weight for nothing. So
he remind me of a Scott Summers type of dude.
But what am I watching? I'm watching Demon Slayer. I'm actually watching.
Okay.
Demon Slayer.
I just finished the first season. I'm avid on I'm a dub watcher. Like, I can't watch subs, and that's
really.
That's just because I craft. Like, be it crafting or like being on all these different calls or podcasts or whatever with my team for BCB and everything. I can't have Japanese shit in the background and not understand it.
Yeah,
I get what you're saying.
Yeah, I can deliberate a whole entire show and voices and everything like that when it's in English. I don't really have to watch it too much, but when it's subtitles, y'all not getting nothing out of me. Especially if I have to binge it, you're not getting nothing out of me.
Oh, someone said if it's something that's old as hell, there is no rule. Yeah, I actually just got into Grey's Anatomy, so I'm spoiling stuff for people that haven't watched it. But I'm this show came out. There's some people that have never watched, like me. So
how long has that show been on?
Like 20,000 years.
In like 90 something. How long has that show been on?
I don't even know. That show has been on forever. So I'm like, this is
like
really a spoil.
Flintstones for somebody. Like, how the hell
Flintstones?
Like, if I told you about a Flintstone episode, you'd be like, oh, come on, dog,
it's
don't
literally
do that.
Like spoiling the Bible. Spoiler alert: somebody dies.
Yeah, you can't spoil something that's like down for years and years and years, unless it's like, all right, for example, UAL, like the Urban Anime Lounge group. Right. They have, UAL University. People was like really trying to catch up on these animes. They have a no spoil rule for any of the current animes. But if they know, especially because people will post about their journey of watching anime. I've had a couple people that I know that just started watching Naruto in the last year, and they finished it inside like all of 2 months or something like that, and that's really cool. The whole community was like, "Yo, we're not going to spoil it for you, in the comments, but you leave this comment section of what you saying. Oh, it's on you, because we've been watching this all our lives." But it just depends on the community that you're in and such like that too.
That's something I've noticed. That is something I've really noticed. That's something I've noticed in the social media community when it comes to any show, really. Any show, they tend to, certain groups tend to scale it back. They say, you know what? Like I'll say like WandaVision. They'll just say like, oh my God, that was amazing. And they'll leave it at that. And that's fine.
The Mandalorian crew was good at that too, because I had watched it and people were like, well, this episode made me cry, or this was fantastic writing, but no one that I follow ever was like, this is exactly who you saw, what happened, how it connected. It was none of that.
Nope, because my coworker was giving me goddamn Easter eggs when I walked into work for Mandalorian too. Because that was my rule. Like I was watching.
Oh, he was just being an asshole. That's what that was. An asshole,
like deliberately. Like anytime it was on Sundays, we closed.
He still got a job.
He still got a face.
He still got a laptop, which is really strong. I'm about to drop an EMP on his joint. Like he's a DJ. That fuck his whole world up. But
DJ such and such.
DJ Scott Summers.
We're gonna stop because Mr. Tetris is the Scott Summers.
I got my button on. I got my foot on the button, like ready to close this whole tab. Like
we're gonna run off our guests.
No,
no hate.
Not really.
Who the fuck is that guy?
Who the fuck is that guy? Scott Summers.
I respect him as racist in here.
Well, that's dope. So
we need to do a Scott Summers care package.
Well, see now
all it is the fucking glasses in the fucking thumb
and some tissue.
So Mr. Tetris, the way you watch shows is generally manga or anime. It's generally the way most people, like you said, you're a crafter, and I get that because you don't need the distraction of trying to see what's going on opposed to hearing it. You know, it's better for you to hear it, and it works.
Yeah, it saves me a lot of time. It gives me something to like focus on outside of just the tedious nature of what crafting is. Sometimes it's really cutting the same piece 100 times and gluing it together. Like it's tedious. So if you have a distraction, cool. But I can't have that much of a distraction where I have no idea what's going on unless I'm looking at it while I got lots of heat gun in my hand. I can't do that.
Yeah.
I got too many burns. I got too many cuts. I can't do that.
Not in your profession, brother.
So in other news, Marvel hires, I don't want to mess this sister's name up, Stacey Osai Kaffour to write Marshall Ali's Blade film. Now, if you don't know who she is, she was a story writer and what was it? A story? She was a screener. I had to sit back, but she
no. He sat back.
Yeah, I noticed. But she actually worked on Watchmen, HBO's Watchmen with Regina King. Shout out to Regina King, by the way.
Man, listen.
Now, rebuttal. Go ahead, Chris. Rebuttal, Mr. Tetris. Give us a rebuttal.
She's fired for what she did with Watchmen.
Okay.
She's fired for what she did with Watchmen. Mm-hmm. I personally think Blade was a terrible casting choice. That's just me. Like, I'm
on it, brother.
For Blade?
Yeah.
For Blade. Run that back. For Blade.
Marshall Ali.
Wesley Snipes Blade.
Yeah.
Disrespect Blade to Blade. you see Marshall Ali embodying that. That's what you see him coming up off of?
Who, me or him? Because I didn't like the choice myself.
Wait, okay. Well, if you don't like the choice, I'm always interested in who would you choose.
My choice always
right.
Martial arts role that was like there's no way that you don't see Blade as a martial artist coming off Wesley Snipes. Right, there's no way.
Ass sticky fingers.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Oh God! Please don't bring that. I forgot about that.
That was horrible.
That was horrible. That was Sticky Fingers. Like I went years before I even knew that was Sticky Fingers. Because
what?
I refused to watch it. I refused to watch it. I refused to do anything with that. Coming off of Wesley Snipes.
So you're not missing anything.
My casting choice always would have been like Michael J. White.
Absolutely.
People keep telling me like Michael J. White's too old and everything like that. I'm like, how old was Robert Downey Jr. coming in as Iron Man?
That part.
Mm-hmm.
That whole part.
And you just
and we're gonna tag on.
That'd be a big ass Blade, though.
That's fine. Blade was a big ass dude.
You can't say that's a big ass Blade when we had somebody like Hugh Jackman who is towering over Wolverine versus the comic books. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. I would have been all day with Mike. That would have been perfect.
I mean, that's a great choice. I'm down.
It's actually not a bad choice, and the reason why is like here are two actors who know like between 7 to 8 different martial arts styles between them both. Like one is like 7 and the other one is like 8, and they know their shit. I mean, it just works. It just works. You don't have to be.
Black said Wesley Snipes gonna be Whistler.
He would have made the role super organic. He has that disrespectful nature in his acting style when he's talking to people, when he's confident or whatever the role calls for him to be confident. He would have killed that role as Blade. I just don't understand Cottonmouth as Blade. It doesn't make sense.
Don't call him Cottonmouth. You don't like
that. It doesn't make sense to me.
No respect.
It doesn't make sense to me. My next second would have been like John Boyega. That would have been my next second. Coming off of Pacific Rim 2.
I like that idea.
And you know what? Shout out to John Boyega because he's actually a really good actor. And I've been watching him. Hell, I've been on John Boyega since Attack the Block.
Exactly. So like even like coming off of his career and now him able to talk about the bullshit that happened with him in Star Wars and how
I love him on Twitter.
Oh my god, he deserved a Blade role to come up off of Star Wars. You know what I'm saying? That's how
I should say. Say it. I should say.
Say it. Bad.
Oh hell nah, Karen. Keep your brand ass potato salad.
Sorry, Chadwick wanted to say something about it. Chadwick, you tried to say something. No, Chadwick wanted to say something.
Those are only 2 characters. Those are only 2 like people that I can see taking Blade. There's no.
I can agree with that. When I watched Michael in Blood and Bone, I remember thinking, "Damn, you need to be doing like this on a bigger scale," because I love Blood and Bone.
Blood and Bone was ridiculous.
What was that movie?
It is.
Playing the guy.
Kimbo Slice.
Prison.
Kimbo Slice for Blade.
Oh shit!
Rest in peace, Kimbo Slice.
Yeah,
he whooped his ass.
He beat the shit out of him.
He beat like unfairly too, and it's like
he said unfairly.
Yes, unfairly.
Like he walked in with like 3 dudes and was completely outnumbered by Michael J. White. Like it made no sense. Like there's no.
Bring this up. Can I get a response to this?
What's that?
Nope. That ain't it.
Nope.
Sorry, Courtney. This one.
What is
I
that?
got her.
John Boyega is down for any more cult films or hyper niche.
Okay.
I think maybe like Star Wars and that whole thing spoiled it for him. I think give him some time because I think he could do it and I think he'd want to do it. Maybe it's one of those things like when you're really hurt from one relationship you thought was going to be great. You thought was going to be the one and then you need some time to get over it. I'm more than sure before he retires acting, whatever, he's going to jump into something even bigger, guarantee you. He has the talent and I think the zeal is there. It's just, I would be burned too. Somebody tagged me in. Yeah, somebody tagged me in when him and his dad were watching the first trailer that came out for it. And it looked like he was going to, we just knew this was going to follow him the whole time. And I was excited. And I always said, my son, I'll never forget him saying, I'm so excited about this because seeing something like this big and seeing someone that looks like me, that was a big deal for my son to say because he's one of them light-skinned demons. So for him to say that, and John Boyega is Chocolate Man. That's a huge deal. He laughing, but you know it's true. That's a huge deal. So for that to go light skinned demon, for that to go south like it did, I would still be hurt too, but I wouldn't count it out. And I'd want to get into something gritty and dark. I really would. I'd want to get into something that was completely different from what I was about to do. Just to rebrand yourself. But I feel like he's gonna do it. There'll be some 3-part something.
Yeah, he's a fantastic actor. I don't see him not getting a role anywhere. Is they just and he's right. He was absolutely right for being pissed like he was about the whole Star Wars fanatic. Because like you, Brandy, I felt the same way. I'm like, they gave you the idea, and I have no problem with Rey, but they gave you the idea that he also was going to be this major role, and they made him almost comedic relief.
he was our hero up
It
until
was
that
Jar Jar Binks. Digest this.
Not Jar Jar Binks.
That is horrible.
I
To
didn't
be
say
honest,
that.
I've heard good things about Denzel Washington's son. Yeah, Isaiah Washington.
Like, I didn't
John
know.
David
Denzel
Washington.
You can tell me now. He's Denzel Washington son forever. Like that's
Yeah.
that's how I remember him.
John David
After
Washington.
that, like after the Purge movie he was in, I was like, okay, I can see him, doing some real action roles and things like that. Like, wait, was it the Purge?
I think he was in the Purge.
I think it was.
I know he was in. He was just in Tenet. He's just in the Netflix movie Malcolm and Marie. He was in Black Klansman. He was the lead in Black Klansman, and he was in something else. But yeah, he comes from good stock. I don't see why.
But I also could see him just staying the course in the way he's acting, because it's not like Denzel was ever like, let me join the MCU. You know what I mean? I could understand if his son was like, well, I'm staying in this kind of genre.
I'm trying to think of like actors in that time frame and everything like that. I could see like Bruce Willis jumping in the MCU just because I could see it.
Well, yeah, that wouldn't be a hard sell.
That's a money grab.
But it is a money grab. But like I feel about John Boyega, I feel like it's this shot on a money grab for the MCU by being hurt about everything with Star Wars.
Yeah,
they may not. They ever did try and give him that opportunity to like make up for it. I feel like Disney like owes him an apology, like a full ass.
Man, listen.
Oh hell yeah! Oh, definitely.
Make that apology be public, as the disrespect was very public.
Yeah, like, and if it was me, like, you could hold your apology, give me an MCU role, and make it Blade. Like that would be me. In them same shoes.
Make like a Blade Origins or something like that.
That would be cool.
No Blade Origins. Take Green Book off. Make article. Take Green Book off and recast his whole role. That's just me. I don't feel like he's gonna make that role.
Or he might surprise us, because I think about anybody I've ever felt like you are not going to do a good job, and I was surprised because I was dragging Anne Hathaway when I first heard she was going to be cast as Catwoman. I was like, get the fuck out of here. And then I surprisingly liked her. I wasn't expecting it, but I did. Because I went in there like, I did. And I was surprised myself. I did.
Let's be real honest with ourselves. After Halle Berry's Catwoman, you could have picked anybody. Like it wouldn't have
it wouldn't matter.
Yeah, that is true. That is very true.
I believe him, yo. I don't know why, but I do.
That was
yo.
Catwoman.
That Catwoman Halle Berry did. Smell my eyes, dude, and let me tell you a story. That was horrible.
That was absolutely, and I love Halle Berry. Is just
did you after that?
Did you after that?
She looked amazing. It's Halle Berry.
Yeah,
but as that character, no,
like, I ain't gonna say it.
What surprised me is like you didn't do good in either role, because there's sometimes, especially in these Batman films, where I'm like, oh, you did a really good job as Bruce, but not so much Batman, and the other way around. I'll feel that way about the actors. But with Holly, I was like, damn, I wasn't feeling anything like all the way around. The most exciting part was
the end, the credits.
Oh,
the best part was me leaving
the credit.
The credits.
You leaving the theater?
I'm gonna get canceled for saying this. I really think the movie than Catwoman. I'm not gonna hold you.
There's another Marvel news.
In other news, I think Scott Summers was in that movie.
He directed it.
Executive producer.
Oh my god!
Scott Summers was like, "This is gonna be the greatest thing ever." Next to my MySpace page.
Another Marvel news. Oh, Jesus.
Still loves it.
Another Marvel news in the Falcon and Winter Soldier show that's soon to come up on Disney Plus. War Machine will be making an appearance. So not so much big. I mean, because obviously Disney Plus is doing something that a lot of fans have been clamoring for ever since Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., and that was the full crossover.
I have a question, because it's been floating on Facebook. Would y'all be down with a Jimmy Woo getting his own?
Yes.
Absolutely.
Like him and Darcy just going around X-Files style.
Yes.
I would love that.
Yes.
As soon as I read that someone tweeted that, I'm like, that's genius.
With Louise doing the narration from Ant-Man. I want.
Oh my God! Yes.
Wait, hold on.
I go for that. Jimmy Woo, the detective, the FBI agent that was in Ant-Man 2. Him and Darcy just going around X-Files styles, just solving all kind of weird Marvel.
And he's a really talented actor.
Randall Park is really good.
Yeah, Randall Park is amazing.
I love his role.
That for real.
Yeah, I love his role. I love their interaction on WandaVision. I want them to do like DC said, an X-Files style.
I've heard it was pitched to Disney.
It was pitched. Stephen Ford pitched it to Disney, and they pitched it, and now they're really thinking about it.
Wasn't he also that dad on Fresh Off the Boat?
Yes.
Yep, that's him.
Yeah. That show is so funny. Yeah, he's good.
He's a movie with Ali Wong and Keanu Reeves.
Oh, yeah. She's funny too.
Rom-com. Yeah, she's real funny.
Yeah, Ali Wong's hilarious. So yeah, I'm all up for a Jimmy Woo, Darcy Lewis, X-Files type show.
Yeah,
going around experience. Yeah, oh god,
that could last a few seasons.
It's funny.
Ever.
It's funny.
You don't have material to run out of.
No, you don't. You really don't. You don't.
They just really just going around Deadpool. How Deadpool get here? Why is Scott Summers just a whore?
Jesus. He said,
so much.
Really a whore?
Just so much.
How do you spell whore? SC. If you use it in a
sentence. In all 60 years, y'all on him calling him a whore. That's slut shaming. That's crazy.
That's a total line of disrespect.
I'm sorry. I apologize to Scott Summers.
So
Scott Summers, this is for you.
Shut up, bitch.
There you go, Scott Summers.
So it's been stated that for the next Spider-Man film, that Tom Holland has not been told too much of what's going on as far as.
Is it because he talks too much? Is it because he talks too much?
Talk about somebody who can't hold water.
I'm like, I love the guy, but he lit and spill. They're
going to give him his script the day that they actually shoot. You just read your line
the minute before. Like, this is what you say on the cue card. He's
going to have it. He's going to have it in his ear.
Yep. That's it. Makeup done. Like that's. Yeah, he don't deserve no script up front.
I'm not gonna lie. I honestly miss the days where all you knew about a movie or a TV show was that trailer that came out, and there wasn't some big, like the spoilers that come out even before something drops is ridiculous because people are dissecting the shit out of trailers, and then people are leaking information that worked on the film or the TV show, and it's just even pictures on set, and I'm like, I don't want to see certain people in costume. Right. I want to be surprised.
And they will be blurry, either that or they will be blurry as hell and you really couldn't make it out.
Oh, yeah, they'd be so grainy. But now these are like good.
The Bigfoot pictures?
I don't know. At some point, I'll see some of these things, and those like behind the scenes spoilers and things like that really will make me decide if I want to see that shit in theaters or if I want to watch it on TV. Like,
it makes a difference.
I think the last time somebody actually spoiled something was Chris Pratt when they were on the set of Endgame, and he had his phone, which he wasn't supposed to have, and he was taking a video of all the actors that was on set for that scene. And then, like, I think it was it Paul Rudd or somebody? No, it was Chris Evans. He was like, "You have your phone?" He's like, "Well, I'm not supposed to have the phone."
Yeah, I think it was Paul Rudd. He needed his ass beat for that.
He's like, "You're not supposed to have the phone, dude."
Leave Brian Fantana alone.
Leave
Brian alone.
Yo, Paul Rudd is man. I love Paul Rudd. 60% of the time it works.
I love him. Leave him alone.
It really gets in the nostrils.
And you know he's like 100, but he looks like 25. So you got to give him a break.
I've seen him on, I think it was Conan, for like the last 10 years or something like that.
He looks so good. He looks so good. But you see
like
what happens when
95, he looked like a 65-year-old man. And like the last time I seen him, he was like 12. He got that Benjamin Button.
Oh, so someone said, "Worst Chris is Chris Pratt."
Look, they showed a video. They showed a video of Paul Rudd. I think it was a Nintendo commercial.
Tom Holland.
And he looked the same. And I'm like, how the hell do you look the same without beard stubble?
Hollywood, man.
He looks great. Or like I said, being unproblematic, minding your business as a white person, just clears the skin, gets rid of lines. You look good.
All those crow's feet and all that just goes away.
It just goes away when you're.
And he has fun with people like.
That was okay.
Oh my
goodness! Racism in there.
Oh my god!
Just a dash.
Everything leads back to
just the salt bay of racism.
Just a little racism.
Little racism for your feet.
Oh man,
like a good knowledge sandwich.
Right. Netflix decided to drop a new movie every week for the rest of the year. Because
HBO Max is about to kill the fucking game.
Okay.
In the next 4 months. That's why
they are.
They already know because they already got money.
Everybody is scrambling who is not HBO Max.
HBO Max is chilling.
HBO Max is like, oh, Disney Plus did what? Hold my beer, Negro, watch this. And it was like, oh, we about to drop everything. Boom.
Pretty
King
much.
Kong versus Godzilla.
It's
Justice League 5-hour movie.
Man, the memes that are coming out about that are forever.
I'm just glad that's free because there's no way I'm going back to watch Justice League for 5 hours, knowing that a good 80% of it was garbage. I'm not doing it.
Me and DC have had plenty of conversation on this show.
No, God, please, no.
Is this about the Scott Summers slander? Why would you do that?
No, we've had problems with Justice League, and it was because it looks.
No, we really had a problem with Batman versus Superman.
Yeah, it's
yeah, we're gonna drag it. We drag that shit.
What was it? The Justice League movie was terrible. The Justice League movie. Like I honestly know cosplayers
because it was the way it was put together. It was just so jammed together, and I don't know. It was horrible.
That Ninja Turtle Doomsday really did it for me.
Ninja Turtle Doomsday, yeah, he wasn't.
Tell me Doomsday didn't look like damn Michelangelo.
My God!
I'm like, okay, all right, y'all keep talking.
That is hilarious. Facts.
It could have been worse unless they was all wearing like sweater vests, like in Smallville. Like that's honestly.
That possibly could have made it better at that point, because man,
nostalgia purposes alone, it probably would have been a better movie.
It probably would have made it better by default. Like, you know what? We like that.
Cyborg, what they did.
That's a good look. Don't get me started on Cyborg.
Jesus Christ, they did this. And then I watched Doom Patrol. I'm like, how is this one better than that one?
And that's a cinematic one. That's the one that had the money to it. And y'all said, get him the tinfoil and call it a day.
I'm surprised. Titans, honestly, Titans was really surprised me. I wasn't expecting to be.
Yeah.
Here we go. There go Michelangelo's punk ass.
I knew you were gonna find it.
Look at him, Roman ass man.
That's Scott Summers in his Halloween costume. You're not fooling me.
Do you know what that's like?
I was looking at that. You got that.
It's horrible when you sit in the movie theater and you see that and you're just like,
look like a Ninja Turtle.
Damn.
I was like, you spent money on this. And then
I kept waiting for it to get better too, because I kept thinking, man, like it should get better. But then I was like, no, you shouldn't be like halfway through something and be like, oh, maybe it'll get better. That's like just being halfway through some bad sex. Like maybe it'll get better. It's not going to get better.
Maybe the finish will be.
Are you dying?
Maybe there's a move he didn't do yet. You
know what? I'm gonna go ahead and loofah myself in the shower. You
do that, because I'm a go. I'm a
final form. No, like you gotta roll him off and leave. Like,
no, that's honestly what you're waiting for. I was waiting for the final form of that movie, and I was like, so we're not gonna level up. We're not gonna do nothing. Like this is what you're giving me.
Like how many years later the Snyder Cut?
Man,
you gotta get a subscription to watch it too. Like, nah, man, they had their time. I'm tired of decent movies. I'm not gonna hold it.
And see, that's always been the discussion with Marvel and DC.
Y'all ain't got to worry about this. I'm gonna just start throwing some comments up here. Keep going. Don't worry about it.
Oh yeah, they all wonderful. We've said that so many times.
DC animated films have always been top notch, better than their films.
To turn up their brightness.
They all dark and gloomy. Martha. You know what was really bad about it? That whole Martha bullshit.
That was the worst.
That's what really.
Between that and between Lois Lane turning out to be like an Olympic diver that I didn't know about, I'm just like,
swimmer. She was going for gold. Michael Phelps, they got shit on
Michael Phelps. I'm like, this is such a hard sell. My mama fell asleep because I took her with me, and she normally loves these movies, and she fell asleep.
She woke up like, who is Martha, baby?
Right, not the baby. Baby, who is that?
Who is Martha? Who is this Martha they speak of, and where can I find her? Horrible, man.
I'll take one of your finest Marthas. Yes.
Why is Martha so important? Oh my god!
That
scene was trash, man.
It was like wild common knowledge. It was always common knowledge. This is their name. That's the thing they decided to highlight on. Like,
and that's the thing that stops everything.
Not finding a common enemy in Lex or anything.
Yeah, it was Martha.
They just decided, our moms share the same name.
And that's what stops it. If I'm going that hard on a nigga and it's on some on-site shit, do you think because her mother share the same name, I'ma stop? Like, it's still on site. No.
Or the DC you are.
No. Like, wait a minute. Your mama's name is Loretta? My mama's name is Loretta. Absolutely not.
Oh,
I'm still gonna whoop your ass.
Let's be friends. We can do activities in the garage.
No. You just threw me through like 12 buildings. What? No.
Cut me.
That's crazy.
I had to
give me a close shave.
Broke it, you bastard. You saying here talking about Martha? No, you gotta go.
You know how hard I worked out to wear this suit? And you think I'm gonna stop?
Let's talk about that montage of Ben Affleck working out for the first time in 40 years. I'm supposed to believe Ben Affleck just started fuck that. Ben Affleck, last time I see him, he was smoking a cigarette with this face. That meme was going around. And I'm supposed to buy this as Batman.
Of Ben Affleck when he was like getting jacked for the movie and everything like that. That was the first time I had faith in Ben Affleck.
That was the first time I seen that nigga work out.
Yeah, exactly. That was the first time I actually had faith in him as an actor. Like, he may actually reprise this role. He may actually make Daredevil look like something. Like, people won't be ashamed of him for Daredevil no more if he does his role right. Martha.
Yeah, exactly.
I think because people felt bad for him too in his personal life. I know a lot of people that were rooting for him, and I'm just like, nah.
Personal life? I came in for
Oh no, I know some people that were very invested in his personal life since that whole Bennifer shit. I am not one of them, but they're like, he just really needs this, and I'm just like, well, we don't know these people personally, right?
You know what I really need? I need a DC movie that's not going to disappoint me.
This is what y'all trusted.
Yeah, like that was Jack though. That wasn't when he was Super Jack.
I don't care. After seeing that and him looking, that was the look. He was like, I got to do this fucking movie. That's the look he had after he read the script.
That's right after he read the
script. That's that.
No, DC. That was the look he had after he saw Scott got his new number. It's like, he found me.
Hey, he dragged that cigarette so hard like a cartoon character. It was like
straight to the brim.
These damn kids.
He had a pack of cools. He smoked in 2 seconds.
Oh man,
Martha, I really gotta do this scene, nigga. How much is I get paid for this?
Again?
New York.
We saw how Christian Bale got jacked for Batman. We saw how Ben Affleck got jacked for Batman. So for Robert Pattinson to I don't feel like working out for this role.
That's total disrespect.
I didn't like that either.
That's DC for you, and it's like.
And they said him and the director been at odds this entire time.
Body shaming thing, which is I won't say like the Robert Pattinson thing was a body shaming thing, because whereas comic book companies are historically known for wanting their movies and characters to look like the way they draw them, they often don't deviate from that. So for Robert Pattinson to get the pass on like not working out or not physically looking like a believable Batman after coming off it's not like, what is it, Sean Connery or whatever, it's not like it's not like me and the mother motherfucker. They completely changed their standard for how they did comic book movies.
Well, hold on, because I'm just gonna bring this up if I'm thinking about everybody I've seen on screen play Batman, and maybe it's because it was different times, but I just don't recall George Clooney getting super jacked.
Yes, he did. He had the Batman.
But this is what I'm saying. Yeah, exactly. They gave it him the Batman.
That was Joel Schumacher's ass.
Yeah, like after a certain period of time, they changed their standard for what they wanted to show on screen for their superheroes.
Okay, because it definitely seemed like you could have a dad bod and be a superhero. No shade to
George
dad
Clooney
bods.
was the
And it
worst.
was
Well, you know what? While we're talking about dad bods,
fine, but the comic book companies, they didn't draw Batman, with a dad bod. They didn't want him to be dad bod. They wanted him to believably look like he could beat somebody's ass for selling the eighth. Like that's what they wanted. I don't fear Robert Pattinson.
And then make him talk.
Over me with a bronchitis voice, I'd be like, you gotta be fucking kidding me. I could take you.
Vengeance.
Yeah, talking about vengeance and Martha. Like I could
Swear
take
to me.
Swear to me. You look like Golo in a bed.
Yeah, oh my God, man.
Well, speaking of dad bods, they showed some behind the scenes shots of Thor: Love and Thunder with Chris Pratt and Chris Hemsworth. And it looks like, let's face it, it's Chris Hemsworth.
Revengers.
The dude stayed jacked, and I swear, I'm still waiting on the tagline to say Thor: Love and Thunder or the Ass Guardians of the Galaxy. Somebody has to throw that joke in there somewhere.
I can see
It's
it.
been out. Like you saying it, like it's been out. Like I'm ready for that. I'm pretty sure there was a comic line for As Guardians of the Galaxy. I feel like that was a legitimate thing. I don't think I heard.
I hear it as far as the joking part of it. Like I hear it more for the Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3. It's like saying it says Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3, but then somebody spray paints Ass Guardians on there. So
let me see.
That would make sense. So is Chris having a dad bod? Is that what that whole
they
thing was
showed
about?
him? It looks like he's a little bit of both. It looks like he's in transition. Because he was always jacked. He was always jacked.
I mean, they even had Rocket joking on him about his body weight and everything.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Called him an airbag and
fluffy.
He ate the last captain or something.
Not an airbag.
Yeah, he was like,
when he does not play about his workouts, he does not play about his workout because
no, he does
not.
not.
I believe it could be Batman.
Parks and Recreation, from that to when he got in this role where he played some military guy and then he got the role in Guardians of the Galaxy. I was like, that is, I don't know who your trainer. Yeah,
Chris Pratt. Yeah, Chris Pratt. Yeah, when he did Parks and Recreation, he was dope. He was a dope looking dude.
It's definitely a comic line for Guardians of the Galaxy. That's where the name came from. It wasn't like it spawned.
So they have to use it then. They have to use it.
It may go on until if they do a Thor 4, another Guardians of the Galaxy, it may go on from there. But I do I like the concept of it. And I think he has that vest in it, that like red leather vest. People are gonna get on him about that, but that's like Thunderstrike or whatever.
Yeah, exactly. That is Thunderstrike. Nobody knew that. I'm like,
not saying nobody knew that. That's going to be common knowledge for people that aren't in certain. Don't do that.
Why you got on that Michael Jackson?
You know what show we're doing on
here? Exactly. No avid MCU watchers or people who just grew up on MCU is going to really know about that as a character. They haven't since the comics. They haven't put him in I don't even think they use him in video game skins for Thor or anything like that. Like they just don't use Thunderstrike. I'm thinking like Marvel, not Marvel's Capcom, but I'm thinking
new Marvel's game. I don't know if he have it.
I haven't played that shit. I want to play.
I don't think it's
the new one.
It might have been Marvel.
I
can't remember. Marvel Alliance maybe. I don't know.
I don't think they ever used the Thunderstrike costume. Right. So it's like it's obscure. It's hella obscure for his character. People don't know. People that was surprised at Stormbreaker. People don't know where Stormbreaker comes from. He got a new hammer. That's not supposed to be what the deal is. No, that's Beta Ray Bill.
Yeah. I'm so upset we didn't get that. Maybe we still will. I don't know.
We're not gonna get that.
You don't think so?
I'll be fine with Gorda God Butcher. I'll tell you that right now. Gorda God Butcher will correct everything Thor has ever done in the first two movies. Hands down. Give me Gorda God Butcher.
Okay. Yeah. Hey. Yeah. Brandy, this is our little segment we like to call the lightning.
Our big segment.
So what Brandy does, she shoots off some rapid fire questions, and our guest answers them at the first, whatever answer comes to his mind. So Brandy, take the floor.
Are you ready, Mr. Tetris?
Kind of.
You ain't got the answers, man.
I like the guy.
Ready.
All right. Okay. So here we go. Goosebump books or Animorph books?
Animorphs.
Monopoly or Uno?
Uno. You hurt some feelings with that.
Definitely hurting feelings with both. Professor Clump or Professor X?
Professor X.
Mac and he's laughing. Mac and cheese or cornbread?
Mac and cheese.
Chris Rock or Chris Tucker?
Chris Rock.
Jodeci or Boys to Men?
Boys to Men.
SpongeBob or Rugrats?
SpongeBob. It's not gonna be no Rugrats.
Freddie or Jason?
Jason.
Adventure Time or regular show?
Neither. Fuck those shows. Gumball. Gumball's my answer. Let's go with that.
Okay, yeah.
I love Gumball. I love
Gumball's
Gumball.
the
Okay.
shit.
Ren and Stimpy or Aqua Teen Hunger Force?
Neither. Robot Chicken. Like.
Okay.
Yeah, Waterbender or Earthbender?
Earthbender.
The Best Man or The Wood?
The Wood.
And Megan Good or Megan Fox?
Megan Good.
I was about to lean in on you, brother.
Yeah.
I was about to lean in on that. What you say there?
Not the eyes. Just the eyes.
He was like, "Did you say that? Hold on there."
Oh, man.
That used to be a thing me and some old co-workers would do, where we take different people that of course had the same names, like somebody did in the comments. We'd have a huge debate about who's the best Jessica, the best Chris, the best Megan, and why. And that definitely started a couple of fights. Pretty intense for no reason.
You sit back and you're saying, like, what the hell just happened? How did it get to this point? Like, what happened?
No, it did. When we got into a battle about just the Jessicas, I'm like, how did it get this deep over a bitch's named Jessica?
Which two Jessicas though?
No, we went like, because I threw in Jessica Rabbit, Jessica Alba.
I said you did a little Umar Johnson on that one.
if his eyes light up.
Now see,
I'm done.
No, but we went Jessica Rabbit, Simpson, Alba, and Beale. So we were going off of those Jessicas. And it ended up, I was saying Rabbit, and then she got out of the ranking because they were like, oh, not human. I was like, whatever, we're dealing with the regular, right? That's what I said. I'm like, but it's just.
Is Jessica Biel human? How do I know she's human?
No, I don't know. For me, she fell off. Like, I'd probably.
But I would prefer.
I'd probably Jessica Alba.
Hell no.
I stopped caring about Jessica Alba after Fantastic Four.
You watched that? I didn't watch it.
I didn't watch it. That's all we had. And the thing is, like, when it was back in the day, when it first came out, it was like, okay, this movie's a little strange. This is definitely different. I guess this is how they adapt it. But it's not to the standard of what we hold movies now because of what we've seen on, like, MCU and shit like that.
Well, even before that, all of that aside, Jessica Alba to me has never been a great actress, so I'm not watching it.
She's a great actress. I like her, but that was it.
She just like
you said you liked Honey?
I liked her in Honey. I didn't like Honey as a whole.
Oh, okay. I'm like, tell me something, because that was definitely sounding very Scott Summers of you. Like,
my God,
no.
Right. But nah,
I was turned off after.
Who was the other? Jessica Simpson?
Jessica Simpson was on the list.
I kind of like Jessica Simpson.
But Jessica Simpson to me is one girl you get with her, but you don't stay with her. And I know that sounds awful, but I hook up with her. That's the story of her life.
What's his name? Nick Lachey? Like, they had a whole show together. And then was like, yeah, this show's almost over. We're going to get divorced.
And then he stayed with the next girl forever. So it was like,
forever.
No, that was after the Chicken of the Sea episode. And
it's classic.
That was when MTV was about some bullshit. I enjoyed that late 90s, early 2000s MTV. I really did. Room Raiders. I was just talking about that shit yesterday.
Next. Y'all forget that they had a whole fucking show about people getting on a bus to get dated and then get kicked off the bus?
They definitely did that shit. they had like good stuff, even BET, because I remember watching College Hill. Like that's what college is gonna be like. College Hill was a fucking mess. College Hill was a mess.
Wild.
It was a low key. It was a low key mess too. On top of that, that's what it was.
And everybody was out of
pocket. It was so good. It was like, and then even if you rewatch even like the Road Rules and other stuff like that, it's something they kept doing, especially to anybody of color up there. Because I remember people like Coral and these other women that I love were always viewed as like these angry black women and the scary black men, unless they were the black men that was like fucking all the white bitches. Then they're not scary anymore.
No, they're not.
The way that they were editing it, I was like, this is so unfair. But at that time, the lens you see it through, you're not as offended. But just looking at some YouTube clips, I'm like, I can't believe y'all got away with this shit. Even old shit with Tyra, they got away with shit.
The old shit on Real World between Tammy and David. Oh, I remember that shit.
Oh man,
I remember that shit.
Fuck.
That was wild.
And they ran it back.
It was like,
ran it back.
How about that?
Yes.
I like kick my man off the show.
Off the whole show.
All the way.
Last time I seen him, it was in a Kid and Play movie.
Yeah, he was Stinky from House Party.
Yeah.
House Party with IMX or Immature or whatever the hell it was.
Yes, to saying both the groups' names. Come on, DC.
Yeah, I know.
You came with both of them. You came with both.
Yeah, IMX, Immature, there's everything.
Oh,
good.
I just posted Marcus Houston thought it was a good idea to have that clear suit on.
Jesus Christ, who let my mans do that?
The rain slicker? Is that what that was?
No.
That was a gaucho. It was like a clutch. He had the nerve to have lapels on that some bitch. Like, how do you get a
you don't have anything you remember wearing during that time that you regret?
A clear fucking suit? No. No. I wore some shit.
So all of your fashion choices, 90s and early 2000s, all three of you guys are.
I've
fine
never
with
been a
everything
fashion icon. Look, this dude thought he was a fucking fashion icon with that suit. This nigga came out was like, I'm about to kill the game, and everybody about to get clear suits.
Almost killed
him. That broke up the group. The group broke up because of that suit.
It was really good.
Laminated himself. Like he's not.
He said he laminated himself.
Yeah, he trying to protect himself from the coronavirus way back then.
Yeah, he was on deck.
It was pretty bad.
No, it was always some jeans and t-shirt, jeans and hoodie, jeans. It was, but not that. Not it was never that. Not for me. It was God.
I used to match my clothes like my fucking.
Like the most fashion I would go is like Dope Man's, Tim's.
That was it.
Air Force Ones in different colors, but like what? That's it.
I had like some jersey dresses, and you couldn't tell me shit in my jersey dress. I would still wear that shit.
Wait, what?
Like I love a jersey dress or those denim cat suits. Shut the fuck up.
Sneak that in there.
You definitely snuck that in there.
Yeah, I definitely wouldn't. This is what we thought was hot. My nigga came
wait a minute.
That broke the groove up.
The shoes is clean though. The shoes is clean though.
Look at how you consistent to this.
Is clean.
Come on, Roger.
I wonder if he Windexed it. Did he Windex that before he was
like that suit is clean. It's see-through clean.
You're not fully clean.
Get out of here. But he thought that was hot. He thought he was gonna be a trendsetter.
I want to see the person who said, wear this. This is gonna be the next hot thing.
Oh, you don't have any friends. There's no real friends. There's no.
His manager was like, you know what? We're gonna kill it, MH. You're gonna be a trendsetter and go solo after this. He went solo, all right, because that shit broke up a group.
Nah, him playing with his teammates' booty holes was what broke up the group. It wasn't that.
Oh shit! Well, that too, I guess. You know.
Yeah. But that's because they was probably trying to get him in them daggone gaucho rain slickers. That's why.
I'm pretty sure the gaucho rain slickers.
Like.
Oh my god!
Oh my god! But everything was so like they thought they were very fashion forward. Because I look back at what two people that wore like crazy shit. Was Cisco always wore something just and
he did wear shit like that.
He did,
but he didn't get the same smoke. It was expected.
It was like some Dennis Rodman. Yeah, you was expecting.
It really was. Like
still sporting silver hair.
Honestly, I'm not mad at it.
What's it? Lil Nas X, like he's in my head like the new version of
weirdo.
Expected.
No, don't call him a weirdo.
I didn't say weirdo.
It's expected out of him, and that's fine. But Marcus Houston doing it, it was like, what the fuck are you thinking? Like, this isn't anywhere.
That ain't you, bro.
That you travel. Yeah, it's not true. Like,
that's like Marshawn Lynch coming out some shit like that. You be like,
that would be so funny. You know why I'm here in the outfit.
Yes, he did marry a girl way younger than him. She was like 19.
Yeah.
And that was
Exactly. About
just barely making the mark.
I'm like, and y'all was cool with that?
How long was they engaged?
Exactly. No, that part. Because I'm like, you didn't just meet this girl.
They didn't just get married and was like, you 19? Oh, let's get married. Nah.
Well, you know, Marcus Houston was working with R. Kelly, so
he was.
Yeah.
Just saying. He definitely groomed her. That's right.
Yeah, he did.
He definitely groomed her.
Yep.
R. Kelly ain't winning Prince's singing contests last night. He ain't having fits, man. He got beat up. He lost his hammer.
Bye, DC. Bye.
Oh,
my favorite meme from the R. Kelly thing was like, imagine like you was killing, winning all the prison talent shows for years, and then R. Kelly come out.
Yeah. Mike Epps did a book about that too. Oh shit.
Now like you killing all the prison shows and
all that 4 years straight. You the one every Christmas program there was. R. Kelly come in silent night. And he got to do the lips.
Oh God.
He got a whole different Chocolate Factory album coming out in prison. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying.
Not the real Chocolate
Factory now, man.
He not singing Happy People no more. That ain't his
thing. He is. Somebody else singing it to him though.
Somebody playing
people, yeah. R. Kelly like, no.
You know what? They playing
like, not my booty.
People always bring him up for verses too, and I'm like,
R. Kelly, I want you, and I like you, and I'm going
Booty Warrior.
R. Kelly right now talking about bounce.
And his music was so bomb. Even him saying bounce. I'm like, why did my hand go up in my waist? But you know what? Because that good.
He was the Pied Piper. That's why he was the Pied Piper.
Oh, now he getting Pied Piper.
No, that's what's always blown my.
Okay,
I didn't know what that like the Pied Piper was up until like R. Kelly was like getting like accused of shit. I just didn't
really.
Yeah, I didn't like. I never grew up on like that story as a kid or whatever like that, so I just didn't know. Yeah. And when I found out, I'm like, "This is wild sus!" Like, this was a self-proclaimed nickname. Like this is
right in our face, like right in your face.
Everybody was cool with this. All the thousands and millions of people who knew this story was okay with him saying this is who he is.
Wow. It didn't matter because the remix to Ignition came out, so nothing mattered after that.
Everybody's lying.
Then in the closet, and like, and you know what? Coming from
I ain't gonna lie, I kept up with that.
I ain't gonna lie, you know, as outlandish as that whole series was, coming from R. Kelly, it makes you think like, well, maybe this shit was actually true if it's coming from his ass.
Why you playing?
Like Bridget, a midget named Bridget hiding in the closet and everything.
Oh my God, a rubber.
That was my favorite part. I ain't gonna lie, I don't know why. That part, he sung the shit out of a rubber.
I have never, the way he sang that
nobody had ever sang a rubber like that before. Oh my God, a rubber. Hey, imagine writing that line, though. You be like, Kills, we need to end it. Oh my God, a rubber. Nigga, that's gonna be a hit. Let's double it back.
It's gonna be a hit. Go ahead and echo that back. Run it back. That's it. That's the one.
Little shit on there.
Loop that shit. That's it. That's it.
Oh my goodness, that's with so much going on.
This guy, man.
Oh no, not the mask.
Another thing that we look back on and we let niggas get away with.
You want to come to my hotel? He had a it was pink when he was doing the song with Cassidy.
Oh, yeah, it was. It was a stage.
You should say that.
That's it. That's
oh
it.
No! You should say that.
Nick Cannon too, Gigolo. Like,
oh my God, I love that song. I'm not trying to be your man, pimp bone in my body.
What's wrong with you?
I love that.
Nick Cannon?
Oh.
The only reason I remember is because it's like the only song I know by Nick Cannon that he made. That and like the abortion song.
It's the only song Nick Cannon knows.
Nick Cannon made another song.
Nick Cannon don't even know he made another song.
Yeah. That's why he needed that job back so bad.
Yeah, because he
I'll tell you one thing,
he got
like,
the job back from
Nick
Wild Out.
Cannon's like his songs aside. I'm like,
Let's
you
not,
have to
let's
have
not
like
put a plural on that. Let's
I'm
say
like,
song.
Song. I'm always thinking about his personality because I was like, Nick Cannon, your roster is ridiculous.
From San Diego.
So I'm like, your personality, I'm thinking has to be fantastic. Not that he's ugly or anything, but I'm just like thinking about the women you have been with or allegedly been with. I'm like, how, Nick? How?
Money.
Just money? No, because the women he's getting with, it'd be different if they ain't have no money. You getting with chicks that got money. They not broke.
He ain't picking no.
You don't get with Mariah Carey and she's hurting. Like, Nick, let me hold something to my next paycheck.
Did he really get with her? Or she was just like, I need some kids. Let me find a nigga who's gonna be lame enough to leave like Scott Summers.
When it's money, like you don't really have to do.
He definitely has been making money since he was a teen.
Oh, we're not making fun of him. I just Nick Cannon's been making money.
I've always wondered about that because there's certain people you think about, and let's say if you heard everybody on Idris Elba's roster, right? No one's going to be like, how did he pull them?
Or Flavor Flav.
You're not going to think that. Or The Rock. You're not going to be like, how did you get with It's The Rock? But Nick Cannon, I was like, what?
What's another nigga we let get away with a lot of shit? Flavor Flav.
Yeah, but see, Flavor Flav came in the game like that, so it was almost expected for him to be.
It was a
outlandish.
historic staple to his character. It was like if he wasn't getting asked and the world's gonna burn, like that's just how it was for Flavor Flav. But people look at Nick Cannon like they look at Arby's. Like, how is Arby's still in the fucking game? How did they? Yeah, that's
White Castle.
He said they look at Nick Cannon how they look at Arby's.
That was probably the line of the night. I need some claps for that. That was.
Put that
Hold on, let him marinate. Cut it, print it. All right, we're out of here. Beautiful, guys.
That was a good line.
I love that. That is so funny.
That was a damn good line.
I want to use that to describe people now. That's Arby's, nigga.
So before we close out, Mr. Tetris, tell everybody where they can find you.
My nigga Earl Arby's is delicious. Only him.
What?
I
Arby's
love you, brother. I love that guy, but he got some weird taste. Oh, shout out to Earl's Waves. Earl's Waves, man. I don't know if y'all, it's a Black History Month. So Earl's Waves made Black History. I'm not gonna put up the picture because I don't want nobody to get seasick, but my niggas out here drowning them in these waves. Go ahead, tell them where you can find them.
Go ahead, Mr. Tetris. Tell the world where they can find you.
Y'all can find me pretty much everywhere: Instagram, Twitter, Facebook at Mr. Tetris Cosplay. You can also find my group Black Cosplay Boosters on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, Tumblr, Twitch, TikTok, and we're gonna start putting the podcast on Spotify. We're on a lot of stuff. Also, we got a website, cosplayboosters.com. So please check that out, y'all.
All right.
His profile picture. You see, sick boy.
Put the profile picture back up so he can see it, so everybody can see it.
All right, hold on. Y'all go ahead. Do y'all thing.
Oh, well, Candy B. Yeah, Candy B. Where can they find you besides
so many places? Just look up at So Your Brandy, spell your with the R-E, please, on Instagram. And then you'll find the Triangle podcast that I do. You'll see the Blurred's Eye View. You'll also see the business we're starting, Golden Goddess. So any woman, especially if you're into crystals and oils and manifestation, we are going to be your one-stop shop for all of that fun shit. And shout out to Damian Nova. He's an artist and I'm about to be in his music video next weekend. I'm very excited about that because I get to play a vampire and have face wedding.
Wait. Hey, Chris, next episode, her head gonna be so big, it's gonna be all over the screen.
Wait a minute. While Candy B is gonna be in a video next weekend, you're gonna be in something else that comes out next weekend on HBO Max, if I'm not mistaken. Is it Judas and the Black Messiah?
Oh my God! Oh my God! Yes, I got to be in a movie, Judas and the Black Messiah. You're right. How did I forget about that? Early this year, before COVID took away everything.
Nick his songs and Brandy and her movies.
I forgot about it.
That movie?
I have to have that attitude already. Oh yeah, I did that film. It was a very great experience. Everybody from the cast, directors, extra. It was just like it was my first time being on a set, so it was super dope. So when they do their little club bar scene, I had my huge fro, I had on a purple dress, I got to walk past. So y'all see me because I'm gonna act like I had lines. So y'all see me. Feel free.
All zero love them.
Because I'm definitely gonna act like I had lines, but that was a great experience. Right. Did you see how I looked at him? Because I just got to look. Because you just get to be pretty girl number 13, but it was like, but I was a good 13. Like it was good. So yeah, 2 things coming out. So that's going to be exciting. But I always promote all that stuff on @SoYourBrandy on IG. So yeah, and if you want like a good meme, I'm good for memes. Follow me for that.
If
I don't post shit else, I post memes
all day long.
All day.
DC.
Yeah, C6 killing her with the wave, son.
Not celebrating Black History. Oh my God.
Yeah, that's Black History Month for your ass. My shout out to my girl Earl making Black History. Got these girls out here keep diving in them waves, boy. North High's finest wave on the block, man. Akron, Ohio on the block. Stand up, Akron. Boy, Earl. Akron, Ohio, finest, man. North side of Akron, 330.
You sound like Shane McMahon when he was like the mean street. That's what you fucking sound like right now. Akron, Ohio.
I was giving it my best, Shane McMahon here. You didn't let me finish.
Shane McMahon.
Oh my God. So go ahead.
So I started a little thing called Rounds of Love and Support. It's this crazy thing where I start just shouting out people for no goddamn reason other than they're Black and they have this and they're doing something. And it ain't just Black people, but I just decided I'm just gonna do it. I have a podcast called What the Shit where I do stuff like this all the time. Only it's a lot crazier and zanier. Chris is there. Brandy has been there, but we can't let her back on because she burnt the couch and left cigarette bowls in the long story. Just don't invite her to your man cave. Just know that.
Okay.
Yeah. She her shit is nice. Dude, she come to somebody else's shit, she fuck shit up and leave.
Duly noted.
Look, story of my life.
Oh my God.
I ain't gonna forget that.
So what the shit? We'll be doing a pregame show tomorrow for the Super Bowl at 4:00. So catch us.
That's right.
Nice.
Tune in.
It'll have nothing to do with football. No, I'm just playing.
Oh no! Oh my God!
You never know.
You never know. Oh, we got a new sponsor. We have a new sponsor.
Yeah, play that sponsor.
Which one?
Arby's.
Mother's Brothers.
Yeah.
We got a Mother's Butter sponsor before we get out of here. Let's play our sponsor, Mother's Butters.
Your cake's fluffy.
Oh.
You should get Mother Butters.
Yeah.
I put that on everything. Pasta, veggies, rice, and everything nice.
So
Mother Butters will get you right. Oh yeah. GMO free, and for those who are vegan, Mother Butters has a non-dairy option. That's right. There's enough Mother Butters for everyone to enjoy.
Wow.
Get Mother Butters from your local grocery store.
Hey man, what you doing in my kitchen?
Also, Mother's Butters was made for
running low on energy, long days and even longer nights. Tired of all the other energy drinks and bars promise you a lot and never delivering.
The longest
Need to make it work, but want a product that can keep up with your busy lifestyle? Want no longer? Try Chef's Chocolate Salty Balls. The balls that are so smooth and with a load of nutrients and vitamins to really get you up and bouncing off the walls. Made with all ingredients and healthy junk to satisfy even the pickiest eater. Chef's Chocolate Salty Balls are sold everywhere where you buy your junk. And now, for those who want that extra kick in the butt, comes Chef's Heavy Duty Chocolate Salty Balls with 120% more caffeine than the leading brand. Disclaimer: this product is not approved by the FDA or World Health Association. Warning: this product is not intended for consumption by children, elderly people, or women who are pregnant or may become pregnant. You might even get pregnant.
Oh.
Yeah. So that was Mrtetris.
Well, I'm headed to bed.
Oh, we forgot. Wait,
before we turn out, let me close it out. Be sure to tune in, subscribe to the Facebook page, Blurred's Eye View, and the YouTube page by the same name. The latest updates in the blurred world. Check us out also on Instagram at blurreds_eye view, all lowercase, and as Facebook, as we continue to showcase our cosplayers as we celebrate 28 days of Black Cosplay. Until next mission, I am your host, General Chris Fury, along with DC Chambers, Cosplay Diva Brandy B or Candy B. Yeah, and then,
like I am
so many names. And then, but until then, remember to educate yourself and others, entertain yourself and others, and most of all, encourage yourself and others. And until then, we're jumping in to do a Blurred's Eye View after show for a spoiler-rich WandaVision show. So tune in for that next week. Until then, we're out of here.
And also Scott Summers.
Shut up, bitch!